Hi, this is Representative Rick Larsen with this week's Weekly Recap with Rick. Today is the one-year anniversary of the passage of the Federal Aviation Administration Reauthorization Act of 2024. If you're new to Recap with Rick, this bill, the FAA reauthorization, is a bipartisan, bicameral bill to reauthorize funding and programs for the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, and its aviation infrastructure and safety programs. And it does this for 5 years. So I'm the top Democrat on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, and that's the committee that oversees this bill. We developed the bill. We had hearings, had what we call a markup to actually amend the bill and then move forward. And then after a period of time, worked with the Senate to get it to final passage. So while the FAA right now is making some progress in implementing the bill, recent tragic aviation accidents and incidents and close calls make it very clear the administration must prioritize critical aviation safety reforms included in the legislation as they implement the bill. So last week's reports of another air traffic control outage at Newark International Airport, as well as other problems and incidents that we've seen throughout the national airspace, certainly mean the administration has to put these safety improvements on the front burner. And we can't have these safety improvements span generations. We need to ensure that we get them done sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, the administration's efforts to shrink the federal workforce has also come to the Federal Aviation Administration. So the very people that we're going to rely on to implement this bill, to implement these safety reforms, are the ones who are being laid off at the FAA. And so yesterday, the committee held a hearing to talk to FAA, the people who work there, about the implementation of the bill and the actions they're taking to ensure the skies are safe. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy recently announced a major modernization improvement for the air traffic control system, or the ATC system. It's going to be a multi-year effort. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar effort to upgrade the technology upon which the air traffic control system sits. But it is important, and I think it's a positive step forward. So I'm supporting Secretary Duffy in these efforts. But we have a long way to go to actually make it happen. I'm going to work with my Republican colleagues and my Democratic colleagues to ensure that we maintain the gold standard in aviation safety in the world here in the United States. So watch this space for more, but that's this week's Weekly Recap with Rick, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.